Hey, it's Ali from A-hAAN.co.uk. I was lucky enough to get my hands on a RTX 3090 directly from the Nvidia store before scalpers had a chance to take the rest of the stock. I wanted to harness the power of my living room OLED by using HDMI 2.1 to get 120Hz with the 3090. The problem was that I had to keep taking my PC downstairs from my office each time I wanted to do this because I only had a 1m HDMI 2.1 cable, and my other half didn't want me to keep the PC in the living room for some reason. I could have used an Nvidia Shield to stream my games, which would have been a much cheaper option, but that would limit me to 4K at 60Hz and have terrible latency issues from my experience. I still wanted to use my ultra-wide LG 38GL950 whilst I'm working on projects and playing competitive multiplayer games like Call of Duty Cold War, so keeping my PC in the living room permanently isn't really an option. Using my PC in the living room to play less competitive games from the sofa is the goal. There's nothing like playing Call of Duty Cold War Zombies from the sofa on a big OLED screen when a keyboard and mouse isn't necessary, or playing a game that's a bit more family friendly like Fall Guys. I opted to invest in my PC instead of buying the latest Xbox Series X, which arguably is perfect for the living room, but why not have the best of both worlds? I can still enjoy the best audio experience by using my PC, as Windows 10 natively supports Dolby Atmos. To make it happen, I reached out to one of the most reliable brands that manufacture long-range fiber optic HDMI cables and asked if they could send us a 20-meter review unit. Ruipro sent us their Gen 3 8K HDMI 2.1 cable, which has been proven to work with the latest OLED TVs such as the CX and the C9. The cable was thin and flexible, perfect for installing under floors and within walls. The first thing I did was test the cable by plugging it into my PC and then into the living room TV, whilst trailing the cable on the floor. Of course, I had to make sure it works perfectly before installing in the walls. By using HDMI diagnostics, I could see that the cable correctly displayed 4K at 120Hz with G-Sync and 444 12-bit chroma subsampling. Even though my TV is only a 10-bit panel, this shows that the cable is fully capable of providing the full 48 gigabits per second bandwidth at such a long distance. This is something that is impossible for an ordinary copper HDMI cable to achieve with a 20-meter length. To make this setup work, I needed a Microsoft wireless Xbox controller adapter. I could have used a Bluetooth adapter, but I figured this would be a more reliable solution. In order to use the wireless adapter and my wireless keyboard and mouse, I needed a way to extend my USB connections all the way to the living room. I came across a very handy solution, an EZcoo USB over Ethernet device. This gives me the ability to plug in any device to the PC from the living room. It's very straightforward to set up. One box is powered with a DC adapter, the other box needs a USB connection to the PC and a Cat 5 or 6 Ethernet cable to connect both boxes together. I tested the USB extender with a mouse, keyboard, Xbox wireless controller adapter for a long period of time. I didn't experience any dropouts at all during my testing. Finally, I installed the Fibre HDMI cable from Ruipro into the wall, starting from the office where I already have a conduit in place that goes into the loft space. I fed the cable through the pipe using electrical rods. I then laid this across the loft and back down into the comms cupboard. From there, I fed the cable through the floor space and down into a hole which leads to the partition wall that my TV is mounted on. The whole time I had to ensure there were no kinks in the cable or sharp bends, as this can easily damage the fiber optics within the cable. Now I can easily play PC games in the living room without the PC being in the same room. The loud sounds of the fans can't be heard, and I have latency-free gaming without any messy cables in sight. A special thanks to Ruipro and EZcoo for making this project possible. The Ruipro cables can be found on Amazon. They can also be a little pricey, but it's well worth the price considering that they are currently the only company to offer full bandwidth and compatibility with the latest televisions with HDMI 2.1. The cable lengths range from 1 meter all the way to 30 meters. The support from Ruipro has been excellent and second to none. The USB extender from EZcoo is also on Amazon for a decent price. There are cheaper alternatives, but I found them to be unreliable. The connection with this unit has been solid from the beginning. I'll leave affiliate links for both products in the description, and I hope you found this video useful. Take it easy. One last thing, A-hAAN.co.uk is now available on Google News, so make sure you follow us. You can then get quick access to all of our articles and every single one of our videos, and even the new download section This is the quickest way to get to our new content, so make sure you follow us now. I'll leave the link in the description.